Planet Dolan.
Now here's one of my favorite games on the DS. It's one that I love to talk about. And that's Dead and Furious, also known as Touch the Dead in the States. So here in Europe and Australia, it's called Dead and Furious, and this is the edition that I played. I had to buy this one because I had it on the R4, and obviously, I'd rather own the legit copy. Now this game is horribly underrated. All right, it's an amazing game. It's House of the Dead. It's basically House of the Dead, but on the DS. Kind of like what Point Blank should have done, but it kind of perfected, right? And it's such a simple game. So it's a auto-scrolling, it's just the House of the Dead. You're just scrolling through the thing, it stops, and you got to shoot all the zombies on the screen. The only difference is that on this one, you have to drag when you go to reload, you drag the bullets into your gun. So it gets really frantic, right? So you're touching all the zombies, you got to tap on the screen really, really quickly with your stylus. And then right as you're about to run out of bullets, you got to swipe onto your gun, and that might fuck up, and then you got to keep doing it. And the zombies are coming up to your face, and then you've also got the buttons on the D-pad, right? So on the D-pad, you got these for gun choices. So you'll be swiping, to get the bullets in. Then you'll switch to a different gun, like a shotgun, if you really need it. There's a huge zombie coming up to you. You got thin zombies and fat zombies, but then you got headshots and arm shots and leg shots, and you get your score gets based on what body part you hit. So sometimes it's not good to hit the head, because if you hit the legs and the chest and the arms, then you get bonus points at the end in addition to the headshots. And so you got to kind of weigh up, do you want more points, or do you want to kill the zombie faster? And so, weighing that up with the different guns and the fucking hectic, bullshit on the screen and reloading, it's fucking fun, right? And then, of course, you got to shoot, boxes and stuff in the background. You got to be really quick in order to get extra health. Then there are secrets where you can, get extra health permanently. Oh, God. You can finish this game in probably a couple of days. But, there's a bit of replayability there. And it is so fun. If you like auto-scrollers and shooters and stuff, really great. Can't speak about it highly enough, but it got torn apart in ratings. No one bought the game, and then whoever made the game just, vanished overnight. So, that's a shame. But, I'm here to tell you that it's a great game. You should definitely play it. Alright. Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Speaking of underrated gems, and why Nintendo hasn't made any more of these, when it's so fucking good. Alright, this is one where, when you play something like, the Mario, tennis game, and golf and shit, they just feel like sports games that happen to have Mario in them. This feels like a Mario game that happens to feature sports, alright? So fucking fun. Plays really fluidly. There's a lot of strategy involved, and it gets really difficult by the end. And they've also got Final Fantasy characters in there, a white mage and a black mage, and they're kind of unlockables, and end bosses and stuff. And the polish is definitely here. This would have been so fun on consoles with multiplayer, for sure. I don't know why they fucking haven't made any more. You see the new, sports mix game they got for the 3DS that has, every fucking sports game but Mario Hoops? What is that? They've even got, a jockey game. Who asked for a jockey game? This is great. This is amazing. They haven't made any more of these. It's a crime. But definitely play that game if you haven't played it already. It's a humongous underrated gem. Kingdom Hearts Recoded and Kingdom Hearts... This fucking one. I hate this name. Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. I'm pretty sure there's an explanation for that stupid title. I'm pretty sure these were good games when I played them. If you skip the horrendous story and dialogue. And I don't mind watching playthroughs of it as long as they skip that bullshit. It's a fun game, RPGs. Not much else to say about those ones. Although I will say that I'm pretty sure in 358/2 Days, that was the game where they're eating ice cream for 90% of the game. And I didn't understand why. It's like they were trying to be relatable to kids. I don't fucking know. Fucking Kingdom Hearts, man. Dragon Ball Origins. I didn't play a lot of this one. This was around about the time I was kind of winding down on Dragon Ball Z games. And this was a Dragon Ball game, obviously. But, it seemed fun when I was playing it. It felt very Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass-ish. You move with the what do you call it? The stylus. It seemed alright. It's like an adventure game. But, after playing through Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku and number 2 and Boo's Fury, it's kind of burnt out on the Dragon Ball Z RPG games. I don't even know if this is an RPG. I'm pretty sure it's an adventure game, but still, I didn't mind it when I played it. If you're into the original Dragon Ball, I know that most people are into just Dragon Ball Z. And I only really got into Dragon Ball after I watched all of Z. Had it not been for Z, I never would have touched Dragon Ball at all. Very kind of kiddie, fillery series full of nothing and bullshit. Diddy Kong Racing DS. Obviously, this is a remake of the original Diddy Kong Racing for N64. And I don't think they added anything, did they? New levels and characters, custom track editor, personal icon creator, so maybe a little bits and pieces here and there, but not enough to warrant me replaying it. I don't think I ever replayed this game. I did boot it up. I did get it for the R4 and boot it up. But, it's not on the same tier as Super Mario 64 DS. Now that was how you do a remake, alright? So much cool shit in that one. You had the, 3 new characters, a fuck ton of, 30 new stars, I think it was, new parts of the castle. That was a golden remake. This just felt like a straight, it felt like the, Star Fox 64 for 3DS. That one was also just like a plain remake. I don't care about plain remakes, man. If I'm going to replay the game, I'd rather just play the original, to be honest. Even if it just have fancy new graphics. But, Diddy Kong Racing is still a solid game. Definitely worth a playthrough. If you've never played it on 64, why not play that one? It's fun. Pokemon Black version. Now, I've got a few Pokemon games for the DS, as you could already tell by the Gold and Silver. I never played Black. I think I booted it up once. The problem with new Pokemon games, right, and I've explained this in streams before, is that I get intimidated by all the stupid new shit they add in, where, it's based on seasons or time of day that you can catch Pokemon, and they've got, berries and backpack systems and shit. I just like the original because they were really simple. Then they added in all this clusterfuck of nonsense. 6,000 Pokemon, I don't even fucking remember any of them anymore, and, the designs are really this is just a rant against them, but regardless, if I'm doing it for a Nuzlocke, though, where you only catch one Pokemon in a zone, and you lose a Pokemon, it's dead forever, blackouts, game over, forever, that's really fun. That just feels like a solid Pokemon game at that point. So, we might do a Nuzlocke challenge with Black or White, eventually. I'm pretty sure we will. Seems like it's on the horizon. No, Yoshi's Island DS. Yoshi's Island DS. Didn't play a lot of this one. Obviously you have the Yoshi's Island for the SNES, and that was really fun. It was a bit of a simple game, but it looked really nice and all that. This kind of felt like a bit of a rehash. I didn't play a lot of it, as I said, because it's a bit eh. I don't know who designed this game, but it did not feel like the original creators for sure. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth a playthrough, to be honest. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Never. Okay, so let's see. So Mario and Luigi games, right? So let's see. So it's up and down. I would say there's more positives than negatives. So if you don't care, usually when you play an RPG, right, you're there to have the story kind of drag you along, like Final Fantasy 6 or 7. It kind of keeps you going through the grind. You grind for a bit, you do a bit of monotonous bullshit, then you get some story, and it's really cool, and you're invested in the characters, and you're kind of hopeful about the stuff they're doing. Mario and Luigi games, there's none of that. There's no story, there's no characterization, nothing to pull you through the grinds. When I played Mario and Luigi Dream Team, obviously I'm going to be talking about Partners in Time. I haven't really played any of this. But I'm just kind of giving you an overview of the Mario and Luigi series. Dream Team, there was a lot of just like mindless go do like collect 5 pieces of this thing over the course of like this whole island, and it just takes you fucking forever. Characters waffle on about bullshit. The writing is kind of good, but it has the same kind of problem as what do you call it? Like Borderlands, where like the writing's good, but they're talking about nothing constantly. You know, they could just say, "Go over here and collect the thing," instead they're like, "Hey man, how you doing, bro? Like, I've got some really crazy bullshit going on. You know, I have so many of these things over here, and you know, it'd be really grand if you could go do it." That kind of stuff, right? That's the problem with this one, and well, I should say Dream Team. And so all the characters sound kind of the same because they're just waffling on about shit. The writing itself is good. Like, it's hard to explain. They've got like the accents down for stuff, and like there's a bit of attitude to the writing, but it's just so boring. That's the problem. If it was used in a good story, it'd be really fucking like a strength. So yeah, the combat system is fucking awesome, right? Really fun. It's simple, but it's also like once you get into it and you get to like end game, really in depth stuff. I was fighting Bowser for like an hour in Dream Team at the end of the game. It was like the only Mario and Luigi game I finished, and I fucking had a great time. I was like screaming by the end of it. It's so good. So these games are worth it if you just want to play a game. You don't care about story or anything like that. The gameplay is really good, apart from the downsides. But I would say the upsides more than make up for it. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, same thing. Yeah, they kept turning these things out because people were just enjoying them, and for good reason. Kirby Superstar Ultra. I already talked about Kirby a bit. I don't know. I mean, when I see that, I just think it's like a compilation game. Tons of games in one. I don't like compilation games because it feels like, you know, you're not buying a real game. You're buying a bunch of little games that together form like one solid purchase. So this is why I'm afraid of playing Kirby games, because I don't know what's legit and what is a side project. Lost in Blue. I didn't play this one for very long, but it was really fascinating. And it was really had a lot of good mechanics in it, and it was moody. It was nice. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I don't know if I would ever finish it, but if I had to play it again, I don't think I would mind that much. Luminous Arc 2. I don't know much about this one, so I'm not going to say much about it. Brain Age. When this shit first came out, man. God. How long ago was that, man? 2005. So that was, yeah, over 10 years ago now. Man, this shit was like all over the news and stuff, and like ads everywhere. It was like, you know, it's just like a game that you improve your brain, I don't know, every day. But of course, the thing with this and like with like Wii Fit and shit is the problem is you play it for a bit, like a couple of months, and then you will just phase it out every time. Every time there's any kind of games that like improve you in some way, you get bored of them. And then all that work you did is probably going to be null and void because you haven't been consistent. This is why, you know, when it comes to like exercise, it should be the thing that you don't mind doing like every day, like forever. And playing a DS game, outdated tech for more than like a few months, doesn't work. So at the time it was good, you know, trains your brain a little bit, but as with all things, everyone just stopped after a while. And then doesn't matter. Kirby Mass Attack, again, same problem. I don't know if this is any good. Looks like the same graphics as Super Princess Peach. I can't comment on it. There's 3 Kirby games so far, and I don't know if any of them are any good. I should just look up reviews, shouldn't I? Although if reviews told me that Dead and Furious was bad, I can't really trust them, can I? Crash Boom Bang. So Crash Bandicoot game. Don't know much about this one. Looks like more of like a party game. There's not much, they haven't got much writing on it, which makes me nervous. Games that they haven't really described very well means that maybe they're not invested in it that much, so it might just be like a spin-off. So, I don't know. Yoshi Touch and Go. Now, this is definitely a spin-off. I only got it because it's got Yoshi in the name. I don't know. I'm probably never ever going to play this. I'm pretty sure this was like one of the launch titles. What year was it released? Yeah. 2005, so it sounds like it was a pretty early title. Alright, so we got 2 more stacks to go. But I might have a quick break before I get into more of these. But first, like to end this segment on though, Guitar Hero on Tour for the Nintendo DS. So I played this for the first time recently. I've always wanted to try it out because I thought it was quite the novelty to plug in like this little controller thing into your DS and then kind of like strum, like you strum the touch screen and press the corresponding color at the same time. It works pretty well. I'll give it that. I was really surprised, and I just like that they have like a peripheral for the DS that's so elaborate. But I enjoyed playing it. It seemed like a bit of fun, and it's pretty unique, honestly. Can't even think of anything else like it. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Alright, I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back to the DS Talk About Game thingy, where I show off some of my collection, just talk about the games that I own. So the next one is Rondo of Swords. I don't know why I picked this one, because I have nothing to say about it. Fantasy game. Looks interesting. So why not own it? Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. So obviously this one's a spin-off of Final Fantasy XII. So, you know, you kind of go in knowing that. Completely different engine. I think it's like kind of like a 2D isometric kind of thing. From what I played of it, it was fine. It seemed fun to me. But because I hadn't played Final Fantasy XII, because I got about 10 minutes in and I was extremely bored, God, that was the worst. The battle system, I didn't really spend a lot of time with, but as soon as I heard the characters talking, I was like, oh, I'm out. I can't do this. And then Final Fantasy XIII put the nail in the coffin until Square Enix, you know, fired everyone involved and started being less shit. So now I'm giving them another chance now, as much as Final Fantasy XIII was like, oh. So yeah, I don't know too much about that game. I don't even know if the reviews are any good, actually. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia? Oh, I don't know fucking how to say it. Again, wouldn't mind playing it someday. Assuming I get around to it. I'm pretty sure I will, though. I'm pretty sure I will. Sonic Rush. Now, I've never really been a huge fan of Sonic series since the originals. I think a lot of people can say the same thing. But I will say that Sonic Rush is really, really fun. I know that when I first got it, my brother wasn't a huge fan of it. His argument was that it keeps stopping you all the time, you know, dead ends and shit. It's true. But the gameplay itself is really, really fun. You know, using the boost mechanic to just go fucking super ridiculously fast constantly is like a huge adrenaline rush. You know, 2 screens constantly flicking between them is awesome. The boss battles are just kind of like standard, like, learn how to do the things, like a 3D kind of rotate. Anyways, regardless, the boss fights are pretty bare bones, but the game itself is really fun. I'm pretty sure I've played through the whole thing, and it was really good. I don't know if I played through the second game. I'm pretty sure I have the second game here. I'm pretty sure there's a second game, right? I don't know. If I get to it, then it'll have existed. If it's not, then whatever. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Don't have much to say because I haven't got around to playing it, but hoping to. Should be fun. Dragon Quest VI. Again, another series I'm hoping to play. Can't comment on it, unfortunately. The World Ends With You. So, Square Enix game, right? Yeah. I don't know when they made this, but it was kind of like hey, let's do something different. Let's fucking just try something completely new. I want to play it. It was pretty fun. I'm pretty sure, yeah, same engine as one of the Kingdom Hearts games. Probably a Game Boy Advance one. Chain of Memories, maybe? But they kind of tweaked it a lot. And I never got into it because I thought it was like Square Enix's attempt to like be hip with the kids. Because I mean, just look at the cover for the game. Just like a bunch of like youths all dressed up with things that the parents would be ashamed of, you know. And I was like, oh god, they're trying to appeal to the young demographic. But the gameplay itself was fun, and as long as the gameplay is fun, who cares, you know? Mario Kart DS. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Mario Kart series. So, this is the major reason why I bought the console. Because I was like, oh my god, there's a new Mario Kart and it's going to be portable. Holy shit. Because, of course, there was the one on the Game Boy Advance, which I played a fuck ton of. That was why I bought the Game Boy Advance as well, because that was coming out. And that was really fun. But that was more SNES style gameplay. This was more 64, GameCube, all that shit. It's like that. And yeah, I wasn't disappointed. This game was really fucking good. Really good. I played the crap out of this online. It was like every night I was playing this until hackers came in and ruined it, which I will say took a while though. So I got my money's worth out of it for sure. I beat all the tracks, 150cc and mirror mode and all that in like the first day it was released. Yeah, I went to the stores and bought this. This is before the R4 was a thing. So I went to the store, bought this. Pretty sure this is the same copy because this is from Australia. I'm pretty sure this is the one I bought day one. Fucking love that game. It's amazing. Still holds up, although the graphics look like ass. Donkey Kong looks like a giant turd in a human costume, so there's that. But then you had the 3DS version that kind of nullified this one, so that's kind of the problem with Mario Kart. The new game comes out and the old one is just moot. Kind of like Super Smash, actually, except I will say the original Super Smash is kind of timeless. And I guess the old Mario Kart's kind of like that, although 64 handles horribly. I grew up playing that game, and I can say that for sure. Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon. Now, I didn't get to the Fire Emblem series until the 3DS, I'm pretty sure. But once I did, I was really into it. But yeah, back then I didn't even know these games existed, so I went back and retroactively picked them up, but I haven't played them. It's a bit of a time sink if you're going to play through those. Kirby Squeak Squad, again, that's the fourth Kirby game, I don't know if they're any good, so I haven't even touched them. Another Ace Attorney game, I knew there was a third one in there somewhere. Justice for All. I can't remember, I know there was the original trilogy and then they had other games, and I just forgot about the other games. I felt like it was going to go the same way as every other series where they just kind of fade out after a while. The Dark Spiah with the music CD included. I recall booting this game up and being horribly unimpressed, although maybe I'm mixing this up with another game, but with the awesome box and the CD included, you expect it to be like a really cool game, but then I just got a bit bored. I'm pretty sure this is the game I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I might have been thinking of Core, which is coming up, or probably Core. Regardless, I should probably pop this in my DS again and just test it out, but I can't really comment on it. It's apparently for fans of classic first-person role-playing games, which actually isn't me, because I've really played D&D growing up, like the board game. I played, I like board games like Castle Ravenloft and Arkham Asylum. No, Arkham Horror. No, is it? No, it's Arkham Horror, that's it. But they're not true D&D. They're kind of like pre-built ones, whereas true D&D is like, you kind of make up the game as you go. Bomberman. You see the cover, right? It looks pretty nondescript. Like, it's just called Bomberman. That's kind of a red flag right there. It's like, oh god, like they're trying some kind of like remake or some bullshit. I don't think I've ever popped this into my DS. It looks like the original game, just with two screens. I don't know. I don't know anything else about it, but honestly, that doesn't bode well. That's just my initial thought. Dragon Quest V. I've gone through so many of these, there's nothing else to say, is there? Pokemon White version 2. White version 2. I thought it was extremely weird that they made a sequel to a color for Pokemon. I don't think I ever played Black or White 2. Because I never played Black or White. I played them, but I didn't finish them, so... again, Nuzlocke, maybe, someday. I don't know. Possibly. Dragon Ball Origins 2. Seeing as how I didn't finish the first one, obviously I didn't really play this one. But I'm just glad they made a sequel. If I had gotten into the series, I probably would have been really happy with this. Maybe someday. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. Now this game runs at a silky smooth 5 FPS on a good day. I got it because I thought it was just kind of a novelty having Assassin's Creed on a portable console at the time. Prequel to the console version, developed specifically for Nintendo DS. And it's like a prequel to the original Assassin's Creed game, you know, the one from yesteryear before 8,000 sequels came out. And I thought it was, I mean, I liked Assassin's Creed when it first came out. I thought the ending was complete bullshit and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But the gameplay was entertaining, but this was a piece of shit. This piece of fucking shit. This is what I'm talking about with spin-offs and shit, prequels and all this. It's just a turd. It runs horribly. It plays nothing like Assassin's Creed. It's more like a 3D side-scroll than anything else. I played it on stream and had a good laugh with everyone over it. Lunar Knights, don't know much about it. Fantasy game, I thought I'd pick it up. I'm sure there's people out there who have played that game that could tell me more about it. Core. Now, is this the game I was thinking of? I don't know. It looks like a pretty generic FPS. I don't know. I mean, I haven't got much else to say. I picked it up because I like the idea of FPSs on DS because the interesting controls that they have got going for it. The touchscreen. I don't even know if this game uses touchscreen controls, but whatever. Hero Saga, Leviathan Tactics, Leviatine. I can't fucking read that shit, man. Hero Saga, Levitine, Nicotine, Ovaltine. That's all I got to say about the game. I don't fucking know. I can't even spell the goddamn title of it. Final Fantasy Echoes of Time. I think it's another Crystal Chronicles game. Yeah, it is. Spin-off, don't know if it's any good. Animal Crossing Wild World. Now, I know a lot of people would be a fan of this one. So, I mean, obviously this game series is more meant for kind of casual gamers. I'm sure a lot of people get angry at that, but, you know, same kind of Sims-y managed shit, town stuff. I first introduced the game to Gooby right after I showed her Tomodachi Life. And she got into Tomodachi Life, but Animal Crossing is a bit harder. There's a lot more to it. I mean, I was into Harvest Moon once, and, you know, the same kind of management stuff is in this game, so I could see why people get into it. I don't have the time for it, essentially. It might be a good game, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people could vouch for it. Children of Mana. Yep, same thing as before. Don't know if this would be any good. Probably not. I'm going to go ahead and say not. But I bought it anyway, because why not? It's a mana game. Super Mario 64 DS. Now, this is how you do a fucking remake, alright? As I was saying in another video, unlike Diddy Kong Racing DS, this one got it right, alright? Lots of extra bullshit. Yeah, and they've got the kind of mini-games as well, which are also pretty fun. I will admit that, although there's not a lot of longevity to it, but fun little gimmicky thing, especially if you know someone else with the same cartridge in the DS. Not these days, obviously, but back then. And, you know, I thought the graphics they made for this was really nice. I thought it was quite a big improvement, and I had a fucking ball with this. I definitely 100%ed it back in the day. I mean, there wasn't many other options for DS games back when the DS first released, so played the shit out of this. Always worth a purchase, for sure. It's out of all the remakes I've played, it's one of the good ones. So I can't speak more highly enough about it than that. Yeah, so many hours playing that game, for sure. Is this the copy that I had when I was... No, this is an American copy. I must have gotten rid of my original, unfortunately. From the Abyss has a hot anime girl in the front, so I bought it. That's the story behind that one. Golden Sun Dark Dawn. I have never played Golden Sun very much, but what I have played of it, I've enjoyed. It seems like a series that would be a lot of fun. Perhaps someday. So, that's why I bought it. Pokemon Diamond version. There's so many fucking Pokemon games. Like, you know, I've completely lost track. I played the original 3, and then after that, with Gold and Silver, I started to get lost and overwhelmed by all the shit they were introducing and all the different Pokemon. And then they just kept doing it with every new game. They just introduced more and more shit, and now I've completely lost track of everything. But you know, Nuzlocke, that could be fun. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. I know a lot of people might laugh at the fact that I have this game, primarily because it is a complete straight port of the GBA version, which is a 2D side-scrolling kind of beat-em-up gameplay. The only difference being that the touchscreen displays status stuff. That's it. That's the only difference, really. I mean, I think there might be like a bit of extra stuff. Yeah, like it has like dogfights in space, which work okay, but not really used at all. They were like a side multiplayer thing. And even then it wasn't that good. But the reason I have the DS version and not just the GBA version is because this is the version I had. I had the DS version before the movie came out, and I played the fuck out of this one. I didn't care that the gameplay was a bit dodgy. I mean, it was... Actually, I'm gonna revise that. It's actually a pretty good game. Pretty good 2D side-scroller. There's a little bit to do, you know, 100%ing involves you actually doing really, really good in the combat. And they had, like, spoilers for the movie, but they didn't spoil it to a degree that you go into the movie and, like, know everything. They would just have, like, the main kind of plot points in there. And so it was good. It was a good little hype piece. This and the PS2 version. Two completely different games. And at the time, they were fucking awesome. So, even though a lot of people would scoff at this version of the game, for me it's nostalgia. It's complete nostalgia, and I enjoy it. Luna, Dragon Song, anime characters on the front, so I bought it. That's it. That's it. I like the look of the characters. Fighting Fantasy, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Pretty sure this is the one... Yeah, okay. It's like a first-person kind of 3D dungeon crawling RPG thing. Looks pretty good to me. If I ever get around to playing it, I'm sure I'd have a good time. Age of Empires, the Age of Kings. I already talked about Age of Empires. I like the idea of it being on a touchscreen, you know, controlling an RTS kind of gameplay. Sonic Rush Adventure. This is the sequel I was talking about. This one. Never played this one. Never. But if someone put a gun to my head, I'd be like, alright, I'll play this one. Because I don't think I'd mind it that much. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. I don't see why I would not enjoy it. Unless they changed everything in this game. I'm sure I'd have a good time with it. Steel Princess, anime characters. That's why I bought it. Fantasy, you know, looks fun. Dragon Ball Z, Supersonic Warriors 2. So the first Supersonic Warriors was on the Game Boy Advance. And I played the crap out of that one. And then they released this one. Same, kind of like Star Wars Episode 3. The same engine, but they just ported it to the DS. In saying that, though, it was still a pretty solid game. I really enjoyed playing this one. Although I will say that comically, there are like multiple spelling errors and just flat out wrong information. If you have a look in the section where like they give you bios on the characters and the world and shit, there is just blatant, just wrong information in there. It's just funny. I don't know how it got through their like quality assurance, but holy fuck, there's so much wrong. Yeah, so it's worth it just for that. But I played the crap out of this one. This one is a copy from Australia, I believe. I'm just trying to verify that right now. I'm pretty sure this is a copy I grew up with. I don't see anything about Australia on here right now. Licensed by Nintendo. Well, I mean, the ESRB is, it looks like it's European, so I'm assuming this is the one I grew up with. Pretty sure it is. It's a bit dusty anyway. But that's a great game. I can't really fault it. Apart from the typos and shit. Fun gameplay. Resident Evil Deadly Silence. Now, this is the first time I ever beat the original Resident Evil. Now, this is, again, a pretty good remake. I don't think they spruced up the graphics or the horrible voice acting and so bad it's good. Yeah, they had the rebirth mode, a new high-octane action-intensive game. It's been so long since I played this, I don't even remember what the differences are now. But, you know, they had the menu screen on the touch screen, saves you from navigating it and bullshit. It was a pretty solid remake. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, okay, so when you boot up the game, don't they say, like, Resident Evil DS or something like that? Or I'm pretty sure they say that. So the DS could be Nintendo DS or it could be Deadly Silence. Regardless, I enjoy the game, and that's another one that I grew up with, that one. Would play again. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. Now, I'm pretty sure this one was released, let's see, yeah, late into the DS life cycle, that's for sure. 2009, so that was only 7 years ago. This, again, is when I was winding down from playing these games because they were starting to release a lot of shit. And I'm pretty sure this might be a shit game, although I can't really vouch for it because it was past the time where I was playing them religiously, so I don't really know. I'm going to assume it's probably bad, but I could be wrong there. Chrono Trigger. So, let's see, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it includes brand new dungeons and a multiplayer arena, timeless gameplay, blah blah blah. I don't recall this being too different from the original. It's kind of like, you know, pretty standard remake. They included some new dungeons, but I never saw those. I only got about halfway through the game. I've always been meaning to play through the whole game. I've never played through the whole game. I've gotten pretty far into it. I think this is the cartridge I might have been playing on this cartridge, or I might have been playing on an R4 a while ago. I got pretty far in it. But if I'm going to finish it, I feel like I should play the original in SNES, more so than the DS version, but, you know, it's Chrono Trigger, so that's fine. Pokemon Black version 2, Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon White. So I'm just going to have all these games all at once, because, you know, standard Pokemon stuff, derp, it's all the same shit. Got a legendary Pokemon on the front. All the same stuff. So many Pokemon games. I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to say anything more about it. We're down to our last 3 games, and another one is a Pokemon game again. Pokemon Conquest. Side game, don't know if it's any good. If it is, comment below, let me know, and then I might glander at it. Glander? Gander. Or glance. One of the two. At it. Occasionally. Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery. Never booted this game up. Got kind of burnt from the last one. I got it as a joke to see if the frame rate had improved, and I just had never got around to checking it. So for the last DS game. Pokemon Ranger. Spin off, don't know if it's any good. So that's pretty much it. It's all my current DS games. There might be 1 or 2 that I'm missing. I think there's some DSi games I never got around to purchasing. I don't even know if you can, to be honest. I never really owned a DSi during the peak of the popularity of the console. But DS is one of my favorite consoles, just because, you know, it's a period of my life where I really enjoyed playing portable games for quite a while because I was traveling so often. Then, of course, you can see here I got my PSP games, which I'll do like a chat about sometime, and I'll be showing off my collection. If I haven't posted that video first, I might have. Just like an overview of my whole collection, just so I can kind of cover the main things, and then go individually like I did with the DS games. You know, it's fun. I really like DS games. It's good. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Have a good one!